What's it like to have a panic disorder?
Terrifying and very limiting. You're afraid of panic attacks in a strict phobia way, where it's like you build your life around not having them. So wherever you found your safe place to be is just like your life around that. And extra things can, and that's another reason why this job just isn't the job for me, is because it's so anxiety inducing. And it triggers those panic attacks. And then you literally feel like you're dying. You can tell yourself you're not dying. Doesn't matter. Your brain thinks you're dying. And then you dramatically fear that. Like you fear getting your hand cut off or something like that. You would avoid any situation in the world to not have your hand cut off. It's like the same fear of that. I'm avoiding anything and everything that could lead to a panic attack that I could not get out of, because it is the most miserable thing in the world.
What does it feel like?
You've never had a panic attack?
No.
Oh, lucky you. Some people associate it like a heart attack. Some people, your brain just thinks you're dying. For me, my heart starts racing. I get very clammy, very sweaty. I breathe very fast. I feel like I'm going to pass out. My brain is convinced it's dying, and I feel incredibly depressed in the way where every once in a while, I don't want people to freak out about this, but every once in a while in those extreme situations, suicidal thoughts can happen. But that's just because I feel like it's something that's never going to end, because it feels like it's just never ending, and you think that's like the easy way out. That's not something I've considered or want to do, but that's just like in the most extreme, scary situation. It's something that unfortunately veers its way.
How long do they last?
It's hard. You can get over it pretty quickly. I found good coping mechanisms to get over it, but I mean, I've had ones that have lasted like a few hours, and those are miserable.
But on average?
Average? They feel, I don't know. I don't time them. They feel like they last eternity, but maybe 15 minutes. I don't know. It could be longer.
And what's the frequency of them?
It depends, stress level and different things going on. Right now, I think with this job, higher than before.
What are your coping mechanisms?
Distract myself, play some music, watch something, try to take a nap or go to sleep.
Why do you think you have this?
No idea. No idea.
When did they start coming?
I remember my first one, taking a vacation in South Carolina, early teenager. It just happened. Nothing triggered it. Happened. Thought I was dying. Didn't know what a panic attack was. And then, unfortunately, learning what a panic attack was, I developed a phobia for a panic attack.
And have you ever spoken to professionals and stuff about this?
No, I'm on Celexa, but I think that's more for general anxiety, because my thing's more of a phobia. I don't know if you can medicate a phobia. I think it's more a mental health thing. I was in therapy for a while. I always advocate for therapy. I need to go back in therapy. When I moved to my last location, I was far away from my therapist, so I was like, cancel, and I just need to get back on.
Yeah, it seemed like it was such a traumatic event when it happened the first time that you now fear that happening again, of reliving that first time.
And that YouTube job that I got turned down for, after the fourth day of supposed to meeting the person, he didn't show up the first 3 days. The fourth day, I had one of those 3-hour panic attacks I've had like twice in my life, maybe 3 times. And I just couldn't go. I was like, I'm sick. And he was like, okay, this isn't going to work then. So it can definitely impact life in ways that suck.
Yeah. In hindsight, though, would you be here today if not for calling in sick that time?
No, maybe. No, probably not. Probably not. No, I mean, that's great, but in the moment, wasn't great. And then my anxiety was very bad for a few weeks. I was supposed to have friends come down for a bachelor party and stay with me a few weeks later, but my anxiety levels were so high at that point where I just needed space of my own. It's actually one reason I didn't let you guys stay with me. It's because I didn't want to have to worry about potentially getting too anxious and having a moment and just needing to be by myself. So I put you guys up in a hotel.
I get that. Well, if you had a larger home, then the problem would be solved.
Let's go get a $4 million
if you waited to buy something,
okay.
You know, I'm just saying you could rent. You could rent a house that's a little bit bigger.
I could just take a loss on this house and just go get a mega mansion.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
just build something from scratch.
Yeah, so it's not fun. It sucks, and there's a lot of people that deal with it. I wish there was a better way for us to treat it, but no one knows what causes it, or else we'd be treating it right. So therapy, coping mechanisms, learning how to get over that. So I haven't come to Vegas. I mean, you extended that invitation forever ago now, at least in the lifespan of my YouTube channel. And I really want to go there. There's places I want to experience. I've never been to California. Never been to the West Coast. I've never been west of here.
Yeah,
I just got to do it.
I think you just got to do it.
But doing it is the hard part.
Do you think you'd feel better afterwards getting through that?
Oh,
that if you could get through that?
$1 billion%. $1 billion%.
So I think
I would still be anxious getting into the situation, but you do it once. Okay,
of course,
it gets the ball rolling. Last time I was on a plane, and the only time I was on a plane was a decade and a half ago. So
yeah. You know what actually you could do that would make the experience a little better is fly first class.
I know, that's what everyone says too.
Spend the extra money, pamper yourself.
Yeah.
First class, you get the big comfy seat, you get someone kind of like dedicated over you, get to board first, or maybe you don't want to board first. Maybe you board last. You're on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
So on the plane, less time.
I think what I would like is one of those rooms, but they don't have those domestically.
No, they don't.
But if I could have that, I'd have my own space. So if I freak out and just like feel like I'm dying, I can just do that myself. And some LA show wants me to come on, some daytime ABC, The Talk. I don't know what that is.
The Talk wants you on?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one with, what's her name?
Well, I've never heard of the show.
I'm thinking of Whoopi Goldberg.
That's
The
View.
Oh, dude, The View wants you on? What? Dude, you have to say, I don't know what The Talk is.
I don't know what The Talk is either, but they want me to do like a live on someone. Could be fun. I've never been to LA.
Yeah, I would take the opportunities. Because you don't know if they're going to be around forever.
Exactly.
And you don't want to be 20 years from now looking back thinking, oh, I wish I had done that, but I was too afraid to take the chance to do it.
1,000,000,000%.
What's your biggest insecurity?
Maybe the thickness.
Really?
I want to say I'm not knowingly insecure about many things. My friends might be able to tell me I'm insecure about things that I'm not aware of. But maybe the thickness, just because there's nothing else I can think of. Because she's thick. She lumps.
And what about your insecurity of internal things? Is it mostly what we've discussed thus far?
Yeah, I guess if I had a partner, I'd be, they would need to be like aware of my anxiety issues, and I'd be nervous about the first time anything anxiety would happen around someone. I'd be nervous. I was nervous about that with you guys today. Like, I was like nervous I wouldn't be able to sleep last night because I was excited. So then all of a sudden, less sleep, you get more anxious, have a panic attack, who knows? So yeah, I guess that could be an insecurity.
I think meditation. It sounds like you overthink and overanalyze. And I'm very much the same way. I think if you calm your mind, or you find other things that you could focus on, or the gym, for me has been a lifesaver. It's been amazing. Finding outlets like that relieve so much stress.
Reading is great too.
I love audiobooks.
See,
I feel unproductive when I'm physically reading for some reason.
The problem with audiobooks is the fact that your brain can trail elsewhere, whereas if you're actually reading text on a page, you can't really be reading and understanding and like drawing information from there.
I'm just convinced I'm wasting time. I know I'm not, but I'm convinced I'm wasting time when I'm reading.
So what I do, audiobooks or YouTube videos, 2x speed while I'm at the gym.
Yeah.
Or on the treadmill. Yeah. And I watch all my YouTube videos on the treadmill, or I make my phone calls on the treadmill.
Yeah, or you call me, because every time we've talked, it's been...
Yep. Yeah, I make all my calls on the treadmill, and then when I look down at the calories, I'm like, oh, wow, I just burned 70 calories on the phone with you.
Yeah, and then you didn't even convince me to rent.
And it didn't work.
Well, I wish it did.
But imagine you could do something productive while burning calories at the same time.
No.
So it's like you're doubling your output.
I finally, when I was using my elliptical, maybe like 3 months ago for a good while, I got down to a pretty okay weight that I was chilling with, and I went up since then. But for the first time in my life, I got the runner's high. Never knew what that was, and I thought it was always bullshit. But I was like, oh shit! After like 10 minutes of hating this, all of a sudden I was like, ooh,
you got in the zone.
Fun things. I was just in the dry. I just wanted to keep going.
Yeah,
that was fun. So I know I need to get back to that. I've allowed the move to be an excuse to go backwards. If I pull up my cardio, whatever the cardio level is, cardiovascular, whatever, you'll see when I moved in because it went, ooh. So, yeah. That's something I need to get back to for sure. And I need to start that. This conversation is hopefully a good motivator to do that.
Oh, and by the way, this clip is brought to you by our sponsor, Epidemic Sound. Click the link down below to get 1 month for free and 2 months half off. We've been using them for years. We use them in the intro to the full podcast. They have a massive library of incredible music and sound effects. Click that link. Thank you so much, Epidemic. And thank you for watching.